Hello, Muslim friends of the world. Dubai, United Arab Emirates. Her name is Layla binti Rashid Al Maktoum, and if you haven't heard of her, it's probably because she prefers to stay behind the scenes of her family's wealth rather than under the spotlight. Born into the largest real estate and construction conglomerate clan in the UAE, Layla has been familiar since childhood with a world only a few can imagine. Private jets, personal bodyguards, education in Switzerland, and exclusive parties on 100-meter-long yachts. But there is something different about Layla compared to other heirs of Middle Eastern fortunes, something that has led many to now call her the compassionate billionaire of Gaza. Layla grew up in the ultra-exclusive Emirates Hills district, often dubbed Dubai's Beverly Hills. By the age of 6, she already knew how to order food with private codes at 5-star hotels. By 17, she owned a collection of Richard Mille watches and drove her own Bugatti on a private desert track. Yet behind all that, Layla felt like she was living in a luxury aquarium, all beautiful but empty. "I often looked at myself in the mirror and felt like an actor in a movie I didn't write," she once said in a rare interview with Middle Eastern media. Her life began to shift when she visited Istanbul to launch her own fashion line. There, amid the hustle and bustle of the Grand Bazaar and the majestic silhouette of the Blue Mosque, Layla saw something she had never seen before. Young veiled women smiling, peaceful yet strong, not because they were rich, but because they seemed whole. Layla couldn't sleep that night. "She seemed to have something I didn't," she said softly. 3 months after returning to Dubai, Layla opened a video that accidentally appeared on her Instagram feed. A Palestinian girl, maybe 6 years old, sitting among the ruins of her home, clutching a worn-out doll. Her eyes were empty. Behind her, the sound of explosions still echoed. Layla cried. Not because the video went viral, but because she felt the world had blinded her all this time. "I have everything, she has nothing, but she is still alive. I am just existing," she wrote in her diary. Since that night, Layla stopped attending parties, turned off all international brand endorsements, and quietly began studying Islam, not in classes, but within the privacy of her room. She started with Surat al-Fatiha, repeating it 70 times a day. On a quiet Ramadan night, on the balcony of her apartment overlooking the Burj Khalifa, Layla recited the Shahada, accompanied only by starlight and the distant call to prayer for Isha. No cameras, no applause. But Layla knew, for the first time in her life, she felt free. Dubai, Ramadan 2024. After the Shahada slipped from her trembling lips on that quiet night, Layla Al Maktoum knew her life would never be the same. What she didn't expect, however, was that the change would come not only from within, but also from without. The world around her, once neatly assembled like a costly puzzle, began to shift, even crack. The next day, Layla decided to attend Taraweeh prayers at a little-known mosque hidden in the Al-Qaus district. She wore a simple cream abaya, no brand logos, no Christian Louboutin heels. For the first time in her life, she walked without bodyguards. People did not recognize her. And for the first time, she felt peace, freedom. But that peace was short-lived. 2 days later, an uncle from the family called directly from London, his tone firm. "Layla, what have you been doing lately? We heard from the staff that you've been going to the mosque. Are you entering a world we don't understand?" Layla was silent. "I'm just searching for something that I can't buy, uncle." The call ended coldly. The next day, when she returned to the family villa in Emirates Hills, access to several family office rooms was restricted. Her personal assistant, Nadine, was dismissed without explanation. Behind the family pressure and whispered threats, Layla became even more certain her choice was not madness.
She began reading the Sarah Nabawiyya at night, studying how Khadija R.A., a wealthy woman herself, became the first pillar in the Prophet Muhammad SAW's mission. I used to think a woman's power was in what she wore, what she owned, who she knew. But it turns out true power lies in what they believe, she wrote in her private journal. A French fashion brand canceled their multi-million-dollar partnership after Layla refused to wear a revealing dress for a photo shoot. A Milanese jewelry CEO accused her of changing too fast and betraying the global market. But Layla didn't respond. She chose silence and strengthened her resolve. Quietly, she began selling parts of her luxury watch collection and closed 2 companies she had run only because of family demands. She wanted to start something new, something more humane.
One night, while attending a private study session with an international community of converts in Dubai Marina, Layla met an elderly woman from Gaza, Marwan, 68, who came to the UAE as a refugee in 2009. The woman told of how her family lost 3 children in a single airstrike. But she spoke calmly. "I do not hate life. Allah still gives me the chance to prostrate." That sentence struck Layla like a precise arrow. That night, Layla made a vow. She would not only be a Muslim spiritually, she would be part of the solution. Dubai, May 17, 2024. Gaza blazes red again. On television screens, the world watches the devastation. Houses collapsing, children crying, mothers digging through rubble with bare hands. Many watch with pity. Many whisper, "So sad," then carry on with their day. But Layla Al Maktoum cannot. She cannot sleep. She is no longer the party girl in designer dresses with a glass of non-alcoholic wine in hand. She is now a Muslim woman who has just found the meaning of existence and discovered a wound that cannot be ignored. In the early morning, at the small villa she now lives in after leaving the family mansion, Layla opens her laptop and calls 2 people: her lawyer and the CEO of a humanitarian foundation she had quietly supported, Bait al-Ummah. "I want to create something, not just donations. It must be real, direct. It must change their lives," she says, clutching a small tasbih given to her by a Gaza refugee she once met. Within 10 days, Haya for Humanity Foundation was born, from the Arabic word Haya, meaning honor and life. Through a closed press conference that leaked to international media, Layla announced, "As a woman, as a Muslim, and as a human being, I cannot live comfortably while children in Gaza do not know if they will survive until tomorrow morning. Therefore, I am donating 100 million dirhams to Gaza, not as charity, but as responsibility." The media exploded. BBC, Al Jazeera, and CNN Arabic made it a headline. "Young Dubai billionaire donates $42 million to Gaza," read one headline. But the money was only the beginning.
Layla directed the funds to building mobile field hospitals equipped with ICUs and surgical rooms operating in Khan Yunis and Rafah, delivery of 25 armored ambulances, a collaboration with Turkish and UAE engineers, full scholarships for 5,000 Gaza children to schools across the Middle East and Europe, establishing small seawater desalination plants to provide clean drinking water to 100,000 residents daily, trauma healing centers for mothers and children, accompanied by psychologists from Jordan, Lebanon, and Egypt. She even sent medical volunteer teams from various countries, including Palestinian doctors from the diaspora. They flew in from Istanbul and Cairo, wearing uniforms bearing one sentence: "From one sister to the land of the martyrs." Not everyone was happy. Some international business associates quietly called her radical. A European conglomerate canceled a $200 million property contract.
Even her own relatives advised her to calm down and avoid bringing attention to the family. But Layla had gone too far to turn back. "Wealth that doesn't benefit others is not a blessing, it's a burden," she said in an interview with Al Jazeera Women's Forum. Layla, once loved for her appearance, was now loved for her resolve. Thousands of messages poured into her social media from all over the world. Women in Kashmir, young doctors in Sudan, and even a Palestinian soldier who wrote, "From one of your ambulances saved 3 lives today. May Allah protect you from sky to earth." At night, Layla sits alone in the small musalla of her new home. She no longer gazes at the Dubai skyline as a symbol of glory, but as a witness to change. "I never imagined losing the world would make me find true meaning," she whispered. After months of struggle, the Haya for Humanity Foundation's field hospital began operating in Gaza. Layla even went down to Gaza herself to oversee the aid and meet the victims. Among the ruins and wounds, she met Yusuf, an orphan boy who lost his entire family in the attack. With hopeful eyes, Yusuf held Layla's hand and said, "You are our angel."
Layla's journey opened the world's eyes to the fact that humanitarian aid is not just about money, but about the courage to be present in the darkest moments. Despite ongoing political and social pressures, Layla remained steadfast. She became an unwavering voice for Gaza, speaking out for justice, humanity, and peace. Now, Layla is not only a symbol of personal transformation, but also an icon of global humanitarianism. She continued her mission to help Palestine and expanded her social programs to other oppressed communities in the Middle East. Her once luxurious life has been replaced by a simple life full of meaning. In a speech at the UN, Layla said, "We are all guardians of one another. When one of us suffers, we all must rise." Her name is now remembered not just as a beautiful billionaire from Dubai, but as a woman who ignited hope amid the world's darkness.